they are not going to succeed. The revolution will be passed eventually. That's the difference between the young people and the older generation, older people. So I decided to go to have some noodle soup with my friend. Some of my friends from mainland China NGO, they want to see the protest, so I went there with them. So, but later on, besides I go home, I said maybe I should go back to see, whether what's going on there. So I decided to go back to the 立法院. Then when I arrived, they say the student already entered the Congress. So my first response there is going to be a national news tomorrow morning, because our protest didn't get any news, because 500 people just the number are too small. It's not going to make the news into the newspaper. The Chinese people won't know, didn't know what's going on in the Congress about the so-called the trading issue with China. So I think, it's going to be a breaking national news tomorrow, the headline of it. So I need to go back and prepare something. I know that I'm going to get involved. Then I think, student already, in the Congress, we should do something to make it more useful. So, yeah, that's my thinking at that time. So I consider myself a professor and also an NGO member. I'm a long-term, the women's movement NGO member. So I'm also a citizen, so I should do something. So I decided to organize a democracy classroom in streets. Okay, so my neighbor is that we can organize other professors. So we decided, when the students, they were protesting, and the students know nothing about the trading issue, right? So students know nothing about, what's called the democratic protest. They will say that, entering the Congress, occupying the Congress is not democratic. So we have to legitimize, why, we can occupy the Congress. Okay. So actually, I successfully organized lots of, my friends, they are all professors, to help the students. Okay. And later on, we decided to organize a district program, because after like 2 weeks, the students and the citizens there, they got tired about listening to the lectures. Yeah, they have learned so much. I think we should get them involved in some democratic discussion. So we organized something called the deliberation in the street program. Okay, yeah. So I'll just give you a sense about what we have been doing. I think that represents the important issue regarding the course. We have we organized 121 classes in the street, all prepared by all the professors. They choose their own expertise, what they can contribute to the protest, like the constitution, democracy, and the right for resistance, and the impact of cross-trade agreement on trade in services to economy, labor, immigration, and indigenous people. And also the globalization and the free trade. Yeah, the left-wing people want to talk about the free trading issue. And the Taiwan history, diversity in culture, and cultural resistance. There are some professors majoring in culture, they want to talk about the cultural resistance. And also we think, at that time we thought that we need to train the first-time protesters about what's the nonviolent protest, because the police might do something. And actually there are some random people, they try to get the students, they try to use some random violence, to hurt the students. So we have some training. Okay, yeah. And later on, as I told you, after the 2 weeks, we think that we need to get the citizens, into the democratic deliberation, because the Congress, the government didn't give us the information we need to discuss the trading issue with China. So we should gather information ourselves and to do some real thoughtful discussion. So we have, the so-called deliberation, the team, training students to do the very formal democratic deliberation. So that's the procedure of that. For example, we have the so-called deliberative democracy is that you need to have the informed discussion. So you need to have the experts from the different positions to give you the needed information. So we have been preparing the information for the citizens getting involved, and we ask the experts, to give their view about the issue. So we divide the issue into the 14 days. For example, that day we discussed the trading issue with the national security. So we asked the experts, to give the report. And after after their reports, and then we ask the citizens, to sit in small group, and then to have a trained facilitators, to lead the discussion step by step. And after their discussion, they will go on stage to report their views, the views representing that small group. Okay, so it's quite a long discussion, like the half day, but actually the result is very good. You will hear that actually there are many, very talented people. Among the citizens, they all have their own experience. For example, doing business in China, or they know the trading issue very well, or they know the telecom industry, something like that. Okay, yeah. So that's the photo of the deliberation. Okay, yeah. Actually, one day, we even held a deliberation in Congress, because we claim that actually, after the students occupy the Congress, actually the Congress becomes the People's Congress. So we want to demonstrate that actually the students and the protesters can do a better, can practice that better democracy than the Congress people, or the congressmen. So actually, and that day I was the conductor for the whole, deliberation in Congress. Okay, and actually later on, we draft our own version of the so-called 两岸监督条例. I don't know how to say that in English. 两岸监督条例.
It's a draft bill for a law to oversee negotiations between Taiwan and China over treaties.
Yeah. So later on, the protesters changed their appeal, say that we need to have a legal procedure, and first, and then to talk about the cross-trade, deal agreement later. Because you really don't know how to, discuss this kind of important cross-trade agreement. So we need to have something, a legal procedure, the draft, the legal act first. Later on, you know how to, proceed the agreement in the Congress later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then, so there's some challenges after the Sunflower movement, because the leader of the Congress, promised that they are going to have that bill first, and later on to have the free trade agreement to be discussed in the Congress later. Okay, so I would say that for us, there are still some challenges. There's a rising China is still there. So actually we say that we feel that there's a cross-trade business politics alliance has been and will continue to influence our politics. And actually, it might cross the party line. Not only the KMT people are affected by the cross-trade business politics alliance, but also some DPP members, might be corrupted too. So it's a kind of a serious issue that we still don't know how to deal with. And also that there's a widening gap between the rich and poor. Actually, the reason that is one of the reasons the Sunflower movement, is so big is that the young people feel that they don't have a future in Taiwan, and they are worried that they might be forced to go to work in China, even in other countries, Southeast Asia countries, because the salary in Taiwan has been so low. Actually, the salary, for the young people they get today is almost the same, just like the day when I was a graduate from the college. So it's really unfair for the young people. Okay, and also, but later on, we were thinking about the policy of change. How is it possible if we want to tackle, those challenges, Taiwan encountered? Because we cannot, occupy Congress, every time, right? We are not satisfied. So we need to change the politics, right? So how to change the politics? It's the politics of change, So later on, the NGO people, including professors, we start to discuss, how to change the politics, in a more, in a more realistic way. And we have to safeguard our democracy. That's one of the artistic work during the protest called 捍卫民主, safeguard democracy and the future. Okay. So how to do that and what to, what's the content of that? Okay. So I would say that then our efforts for a new politics, at least some NGO people and including me, is social democracy. We say, we have to, change